Let's be honest, most book endings are disappointing, and I don't just mean the amateur stuff. Even bestsellers, even prize winners, some of them leave readers feeling cheated. They've stuck with your story for 80,000 words, only to close the final chapter and think, is that it? And if you've ever worried that your ending might fall flat, this video is for you. I'm going to break down the 7 most common ending mistakes that sabotage great stories, starting with the obvious and building to the ones even experienced authors miss. First, let's talk about the predictable ending. I'm sure you saw this one coming, quite literally, and so did your reader. And that, of course, is the problem. When an ending is predictable, it loses all of its emotional power. There's no tension, no payoff, no surprise. It just happens. And we've all read that romance where the grumpy guy softens up and decides to confess his love on page 273. And we get it. We saw that coming in chapter 3. So to avoid this, you don't need some wild twist. You just need uncertainty and a little sprinkle of misdirection. Your ending ultimately should feel inevitable in hindsight, but impossible to guess up front. And that is the trick. Smart readers, they are playing detective the entire time. So scatter clues, but also throw in some red herrings along the way to keep them guessing. Next is the unresolved ending. Let's say that your story poses a big question. Who killed the mayor? Will the family reunite? Is the alien real? And then you never answer it. You wrap up the book and leave the reader wondering. Now, mystery is fine, and ambiguity can be brilliant. But if you leave the main question unanswered, it doesn't feel profound. It just feels lazy. And you want to think of it like this. Readers need closure, not on everything, but on the central thing. You can leave a few loose ends here and there. That's life. But don't let your readers close the book thinking, wait, what just happened? The next big mistake is the Disney ending. Everything is perfect. All is forgiven. Everyone is in love. And for some reason, they all decided to get married on the same day. But here's the major problem with that ending. It just doesn't feel real. In real life, we rarely get this full circle redemption. Some wounds stay open, some questions never get answers. Readers don't need a happy ending. They need a true ending. You can still give them hope, you can bring resolution to them, but if you tie every thread in a perfect bow, it feels fake and it weakens everything that came before it. The next mistake is the wait, what? Twist. So I'm sure you've seen this. The quiet best friend is suddenly the villain. The time machine was a dream, and the dog turned out to be a ghost the whole time. And ultimately, none of it makes any sense. And twists can work, but only if they are earned. The best twists, well, they make readers slap their foreheads and go, "Ah, of course." What you don't want them to do is slap their foreheads and say, that makes no sense at all. If you want a twist ending, well, then you have to plant the seeds early. Let your reader feel clever for catching the clues or for missing them. But never surprise them just to be clever. That's not smart writing, that's cheating. Now, let me give you a quick tip. If you're not sure whether your twist works, ask your editor. That's literally what we do. We help you plant the clues, structure the reveal, and make your ending land with maximum impact. You'll find the link to our editing services in the description below. Next is what I call the soapbox ending. The story is done, but the author isn't. Now it's time for a 5-page speech about capitalism, religion, or why society is doomed. Now, here's the truth. If your reader was looking for a TED Talk, they would go ahead and watch one. And even if they agree with you, they didn't come to your book for a lecture. They came here for a story. And so the best books deliver their message through the characters, through action, through consequence, not through a final monologue that starts something along the lines of what I've learned is. So if your book has a theme, great. Make us feel it through the story, but don't preach it. Okay, now let's talk about the sequel trap, which is number 6. So let's say you've got a series planned, a whole world, spin-offs, prequels, merchandise. So you end your book with nothing. No resolution, just a to be continued. Now that is a bad move. Even in a series, each book needs a full story arc. Look at the Hunger Games. Katniss survives, she wins. Yes, the larger conflict is still brewing, but book one feels complete. A good ending gives readers satisfaction. A great ending will give them that satisfaction, but also leaves them wanting more. Don't hold the story hostage just to get them to book two. Earn their curiosity. Number 7 is the regression ending. This one really stings. Let's say you've spent the whole book watching your character grow. They learn, they change, they fight their demons, and then in the final chapter, they're back to square one. Ted goes back to Robin, the hero runs away again, the villain gets forgiven with no consequences. When characters regress without any reason, it kills the emotional investment that your reader has made. Character arcs are really, really important, so respect them. Your reader stuck around to see the journey, don't make it completely pointless in the final scene. I'm going to throw in one bonus mistake here, and that is the dark just to be dark ending. This is the overly bleak ending that we see sometimes. It's where you kill everyone, the villain wins, the town burns down. Sometimes that is absolutely the right choice, but sometimes it's just edge for edge sake. Don't confuse shock value with emotional depth. Tragedy is powerful, but only if it is earned. Otherwise, your ending isn't brave, it's just ultimately bleak. So here's the checklist I'd like you to take away from this. Is your ending predictable? Does the main question get answered? Is it too perfect or too messy? Is the twist earned? Did you go full TED Talk in the final chapter? Did you write an ending or did you write a trailer for book 2? And finally, does your protagonist stay grown up? If any of those hit a nerve, well, good. That means that you care, and it means that you are going to go and fix it. Now, if you need help making sure your ending sticks the landing, then check out the links below. We help writers every day craft fantastic endings, fantastic books that get sales. And let me know in the comments, what's the worst book ending that you've ever read? I read every one, so who knows, maybe I'll feature it in the next video. If this helped you, give it a like, subscribe for more writing advice, and YouTube with its very clever algorithm will now be recommending another one of my excellent writing videos just here for you to go ahead and watch next. Now, go watch that or go finish your book.